If you've been having some early entries lately, this is the video for you. We're gonna go through 3 steps to get rid of early entries. And it's very simple because actually if you're on this video, you probably already fixed it. If you just apply these things, you're not gonna have any problems with early entries ever again. Because the second you put a little bit of effort and intention into fixing your problems, you're not gonna have those problems for very long when it comes to trading. So let's just dive right into it. I'm going to show you all the 3 different ways. The last step, which is my favorite, is a statement. The second one is a journaling trick. And the first one that we're going to dive into now is a clarification of your system. All right, so the 3 things we're going to go through is a clear system, tracking correctly, and reprogramming of your mind. And all of these ties perfectly together. But let's start with the most important one, which is the clear system. So if you're taking early entries, you most probably have an unclear system. You don't exactly know what you want to do. Maybe you have 2 biases. As the emotions come in, you just take an early entry because you don't really know what you're going to do. So what you want to do is you want to zoom in to what you're looking for. And of course, what I like to do is I use the 1-page trading plan. There's nothing else than a perfect entry. That's what you need to define in complete detail. So let's say we want to take a trade here. There are 2 different entries we can have right here. We can either have break of the previous candle low, or we can have a close of that candle. Those are 2 exact entries that you can have. And that means that if you were trying to take a trade here, which is an early entry, or you try to take it here, it doesn't allow for that because none of these candles break the low of the previous candle, and you don't have a close underneath that candle. If you just clearly define what a perfect entry is, for me, it's break of previous candle high. But I also want a signal candle, which is something like this right here. So I would take the trade right here if that was a break and retest. But what I'm trying to say is you just need to define it even more. That's what I'm trying to say with a clear system. And that brings us to number 2, which is tracking correctly and injecting the logic. So of course, first start with clarifying your system and making it so simple. Anyone, you can give it to me, you can give it to anyone, you can comment it in the comments below, and everyone will know and understand what kind of entries you are taking. The second is tracking correctly and injecting logic into your system, what works, what doesn't work. So I use Edgewonk. If you want to use that, you can use my code in the description below to get some off. So why I use Edgewonk is because they have entry comments. They have something called the tilt meter. And that means you can track negative and positive comments of your entries or management or exits. But that's not really what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say is a lot of people, they have something like this: good entry, bad entry. There's nothing called good or bad entry. There's only too early, too late, or perfect. That's it. If you don't have a system that you have too early, too late, or perfect, then you don't have a clear entry. So here's my exact entry system. The positive one, which is the ones I want, is a signal bar plus break of candle high. So we have a signal bar, and the signal bar is basically we try to push up and we start to failing down. And then it's the break of the low of this candle. That's where I take my entry right here. Or the second one is a signal bar and close of the next candle. So that's pretty obvious, but it's the next candle close right here. So we take the entry right here. So one of these 2 are my good entries. And all the other entries are too late or too early. That's as easy as you want to keep it, because then you can track it in a super easy way and you can see if you're actually focusing on your good entries. If you have problem with early entries, is all you need to do is focus on the exact entry. So what you want to say while you're trading, it's not like, oh, where should I enter? It's okay, I will wait for a signal bar and a break of candle high or low. I will wait for a signal bar and a close underneath. So basically you can already plan your trade. So you say, okay, if this happens, I will take a short here. So now you can have a more systemized way of trading. And then we have number 3, which is my absolute favorite. So I've talked about this a lot. I'm just going to give you a statement here. And this is how you inject logic with a trading statement. And this trading statement is built on a what, a why, and a how. So first we have the what, which is I am a professional trader. Your mind understands from a what and a why and a how perspective. You can't just say I'm a professional trader, because your mind is going to say, well, why are you a professional trader? So we build the statement with a what, a why, and a how. That's much more powerful than just an affirmation. So what you can do then is you have the what. I am a professional trader and I only take perfect entries. And I do this by waiting for, that's where you insert your perfect exact entry. And I do this by waiting for signal bar and break of signal candle high or low. And I do this because it makes me profitable trader and consistent in the long term. And that's the reason why you're doing it. So if you can repeat this every morning, every night, and also before you start trading, this is going to become ingrained, and it's going to become subconscious. And when it's subconscious, that's the way you're going to act forever. So I hope this is going to help you. So please try this out and leave a comment if this works for you. But basically, clear system, clarify your system, track it correctly. So you inject the logic that you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, so that you can actually make proof for yourself that you are doing the right thing, because then you're going to feel much more like a professional trader. Because a lot of it in trading is about confidence, and it's about feeling like a good trader, feeling and having the belief that you're a professional trader. And then you want to reprogram your mind, which is this right here. And you can remake it the way you want, but you essentially just need a what, a why, and a how. And that is all feeding in to these other things.